Good morning, friends. Welcome back to West Fork. That scene was from my morning walk this morning up on the ridge here behind our homestead. And I love to go up there and see the sunrise in the morning, or sometimes the sunsets at night are pretty nice. But anyway, here's November and we don't have any snow, and I'm inclined to get out there. So while the weather's still good, I thought I'd do a little campfire blacksmithing project that I've been wanting to get to. We found a real bargain on a little wood stove for the carving shack here, and we got that put in this fall. There was a wood stove in there before, but it was pretty big, took up a lot of space, and it took up a lot of wood. And so we put in a smaller little airtight in there, and I don't have a fireplace poker for it, and something a guy really needs. So today I'm going to get this cod roaster cooking, get a good coal bed made here, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how to make a fireplace poker right here on the campfire. So stay tuned. I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's bound to be fun. I don't have much for tools. Probably don't have any tools that are recommended by any blacksmiths. I got a 12-inch piece of old antique railroad iron there. That's going to be my anvil. And I got two metal rods there. They're old bolts that were used to hold a crate together. And they're about, I think they're 5/16 or 3/8. I think they're 5/16. And then I just, this morning, made a couple of handles. Still having fun with the old shave horse out here. And figured I'd carve up a couple handles. I drilled those out so they'll fit, and those are made out of alder wood, and they're just roughed out now. I'll carve them after they're installed. And I got a nice big C-clamp. I don't know what that's for, but I saw it in the shop and it might come in handy. And a pair of thin leather gloves. I don't have the proper equipment and attire, so I'm going to have to be really careful and deliberate. And down below here for quenching, I have a little pail of water. Got a bark fire going right now, so I'm going to try to get some hardwood on there, maybe some alder, maybe some birch. Get some hardwood coals. I put in a little fireplace grate that we had laying around, try to get some airflow underneath. And since we don't have a forge, I'm going to stack the wood up on the sides kind of high and put a piece across the top to kind of make a firewood furnace, if you will. So, yeah, just a little bit of hardwood in here. Nice piece of alder. Oh, here's a big one. That's a big chunk. This hardwood going, and those coals will keep the heat. Got some birch. Not much birch down here, but find some once in a while. There's another chunk. A lot of alder. There's a nice big piece of alder for a lid to the furnace. Well, the first thing I'm going to need to do is install a handle on each one of these. Now these are carriage bolt heads. So they got a little square insert that should seat pretty well in this in the handle. I don't have my proper tools, but I found the old Gransfors. You guessed it, the Gransfors wildlife hatchet. There we go. There's a threaded end on there. Not hitting very hard. Actually, I think I'm going to need to smack it. So I'll have to get a proper hammer. I don't want to hurt my baby. Yeah, those handles kind of fit crooked, but I'm going to carve those down and put a little ergonomic shape. And this one here I'm making is super short, and you'll see why. The little stove in there is pretty small, and I like to kneel down in there and poke, so it's not a very deep stove. It's wide, but it's not very deep, so this is going to be just perfect. Two pieces of birch. Work on getting that coal bed hotter. And then yeah, this might work. Yeah, we'll let that burn for a while. Getting a nice little breeze today. And that little fireplace grate in the bottom is really helping too, but this thing's torching up. I better get those handles ready and get my irons in the fire. I did find a sledgehammer. I'm not sure what this is for. I've had it for a long time. It's got a little tapered end there. Pointed end like it's for, might be a mason's hammer. But anyway, it's a lot better than using my hatchet. It's not as good as a blacksmith hammer, but it should do the trick. Well, I broke one, so I had to go back and make another one real quick. But I got the those little heads seated on there now. No cracks. These are they're kind of irregular. This one doesn't really line up. But I'm going to carve this down and make a nice tapered fit to fit the palm of the hand on there. So it's time to put irons in the fire. See if this will work. Yeah, I'm telling you, it is smoking hot in here. I'm gonna have to get something to put my handle on. Ooh, that might work. I will give that a few minutes. It is white hot down in there. Having a little trouble getting her to heat up, but it's starting to glow now. It's not quite there yet, but there's a little sweet spot down in here. Trying to position the wood so it keeps dropping some coals right in here where I need it. So I do know this is going to take a little extra time. Trying to thin it out a little bit. I'm gaining on it, but I got to get it a little bit hotter. I think once I get it a little bit thinner, it'll heat up quicker and it'll glow a little brighter. If you have any questions about blacksmithing in general, don't ask me, because I'm just going to try to get this to work. So yeah, but if you came looking to watch somebody try to figure something out that doesn't know what they're doing, you probably came to the right channel. Come on, get in there now. It's working. It's starting to get pointed. So what my goal is, my plan, if I had a plan, is to taper it down to a point, then heat it back up and bend it over so I can hook logs with it. I'm not going to put a barb on this. I'm just going to have a hook, which is fine with me because I can push logs, no problem, then hook them and move them around. Anyway, it's heating up quicker now, and it's getting a nice little taper on the end. I'm just going to keep working until it's got a wicked point on the end. I want it real pointy. Stay tuned. Heating up faster between cycles. It's looking kind of like wrought iron too. That's pretty cool. Oh, it's smoking hot in there. It is roasting hot. Yeah, that fireplace grate was a good idea. It's getting a lot of airflow. It's just sucking air. It's almost like a blower. Yeah. So I'm trying to arrange my firewood so that it feeds coals to it from the top down. So I keep putting chunks on top to hold in the heat. And as they burn down, they become coals down in the basket down there. I think that really helps out. But then again, the groundworks too, if you can keep enough air in there, that's the thing. This thing's feeding itself air, and it's feeding itself coals from the top. Rocking and rolling. Campfire blacksmithing. Yeah, that's ready. This is an old antique piece of railroad iron that I picked up somewhere. And boy, rings like an anvil. It's a good chunk of steel. That's back when they had really good steel and they were trying to make it high quality. Oh, this baby's really getting pointed now. I'm going to stick it back in the fire and fine tune that thing. It's about ready to bend. Oh, one thing I've learned already about campfire blacksmithing is you better bring plenty of wood. This thing, since it's getting so much airflow, I've been putting logs on. I've probably gone through half a wheelbarrow of wood so far just for this one poker. So fortunately, we got plenty of firewood here. And I really want these pokers. So we're just gonna keep feeding it. As long as it's hungry. It's hungry. Gonna fine tune this point. I can use a file on there later. A little chunky here in the midsection. I tell you, if I had to do life over again, I think I would learn to be a blacksmith. Maybe do some horseshoe and have a little fabrication shop just for little fun projects, because you can do some amazing things, and it's one of those crafts that, one of those trades that has been passed on over the years, and it never seems to die out. I dig this stuff. Yeah, that looks really nice. So now we're going for the bend, so I'm going to have to heat it up. Back in here, try to put a hook on this without breaking it. Probably should have my fire a little closer to my work, but live and learn. It's getting there, boys. A little bit more flame on there, but starting to look like a hook. That's what I like. I reach in there and grab the logs and horse them around the way I want them. I think a little more fire, a little more curve to it. Yeah, the old Campfire forge is rocking and rolling. There's like a 5-mile-an-hour breeze out here, and it is. It's the perfect weather. We've had rain for about a week. It's been pretty wet, but today it turned off beautiful blue, and a little bit of a breeze helping us out. Yeah, I put that wood handle kind of behind the heat shield there. It's protecting it. And that rock. All right, here it comes. Yeah, it burnt the end off my point there, so I'm gonna have to reshape it. Let's see here. Oh, that isn't looking too bad. Okay, since I don't have a horn on my setup, I'm just gonna bend this thing carefully. Oh, that's more like it. I like it. That's pretty nice. Yeah, nice red hot fire poker. Pretty wicked looking. That'll work great for snagging those logs. And do a little whittling time on the old handle and carve up something that is real pleasing. And I'll have a pretty nice setup here. Just what I needed for the new stove. Well, I've had this thing in the coals for a few minutes. See if it's ready. Oh yeah, let's head to the anvil. All right. Looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm hoping with this one, since the shaft is longer, I might be able to do something more sexy with this one, because I got a little bit more room out there. Ooh, that's smoking hot. But anyway, I got a little more room, so I might be able to put a little cuter little hook on that. This is a poker I made several years ago in the wood stove, and I really like it. I made it out of the same type of bolt, and I brought it out because I want to make sure. I really like that hook shape. It's pretty wicked. And then on this end, I had an old chunk of oak dowel that I drilled through, and I put a slight taper on that. It fits the palm pretty well. Fits right in my hand. And one thing that's cool about this design, this is my own design I just came up with because this is the materials that I scrounged up. And I don't like store-bought pokers. And even blacksmith pokers, a lot of times, they're all heavy and clunky and or maybe too ornate and not functional enough. Anyway, this is super balanced. It doesn't weigh that much. You got a good grip. This fills up the palm, so you can really get in there and dig around and poke some fire with it. This fire is hungry. That about does it. So I carved those handles a little chunky, and I left chunky facets on there so they're easy to grab and they don't try to spin in your hands. My blacksmith work isn't the best. These are pretty wrinkly, but they are strong. I filed the ends and put some sandpaper there to try to remove some of that slag. I did the best I could. They're strong, so they're going to be great pokers. And I really like this little one. That's what I'm going to use for the little stove in the carving shack. And I like these handles. That's a spalted alder. I found a piece of firewood in there, and it's got some spalting. That one's got a little color. Oh, I treated these with wood wax from Real Melt Paint Company. It's got a little carnauba in there. It's got walnut oil. What I like about them is that handle is so easy to grab, and the tools don't weigh very much. because they're not too thick. And I like them whittled because I like rustic stuff. This will fit right inside the cabin. And this one, it's going to be out in the carving shack. So when the weather gets cold, you can have a good fire and can poke it proper. Well, friends, that was a fun project. These aren't the fanciest pokers out there, but I really like their character, and I think I'm going to like these a lot. I hope you're doing good out there. God bless you, and thanks for stopping by the West Fork today. I got some more videos planned. Got a couple carving projects coming up, and won't be long and we'll have snow, and who knows what could happen during the winter time. Until next time, happy trails to you. This is West Fork, over and out.